one of the biggest questions around high conflict divorces is, how do I protect my kids? When we're divorcing a high conflict person, it's very likely that they have a personality disorder or they're on the narcissism spectrum somewhere, and that by itself means that they're not going to be great parents. And because we're working within the court systems that currently exist, it's incredibly likely that we're going to have to share custody or parenting time with this abusive person. So what do we do? In today's video, I'm going to break that down for you. If you like this information and you find it useful, please consider subscribing or liking the video, or you can share it with people that you think it will help, because that's the whole point. So the main defense we can offer our children against narcissistic abuse from the other parent is a secure attachment with us. Secure attachment means a whole bunch of things in detail, but overall, what it means is that your child knows that no matter what happens, you're going to be there for them to provide comfort, support, and care. That you see them and that you know who they are and that you're interested in them. How do we create a secure attachment with our children? There's so many things you can do, but I'm going to just throw out a couple of them. A big part of secure emotional attachment is the invitation of proximity, and this is something I think a lot of people don't think about, so that's why I'm mentioning it. Invitation to proximity means that you communicate to the child that they are welcome to be close to you, that you want them near you. So a great way to do this is, if you're busy talking on the phone and your kid comes over, instead of saying, "Oh, I gotta go, my kid's here," say, "Hey, you know what? I want to hang out with my kid right now, so I'm gonna just let you go, okay?" When your child hears that, the message that they get is that they're the most important thing to you. Another thing you can do is tell them consistently, like maybe every bedtime or every morning or every time before there's a separation, how proud you are of them, how lovable they are, and how grateful you are that you get to be their parent. So telling your kid you love them is great. Telling your child that they're lovable is one step up, because that communicates to them that they are lovable by everybody in the world and not just you. It opens their whole world up to healthier relationships for their whole life moving forward. Secure attachment means that they have room to express their feelings with you. So it means not punishing a child if they've become dysregulated and have a tantrum, or if they have a meltdown. Instead, in those moments, what we need to do is recognize that the child is misbehaving, not because they're bad or they need to be punished, but because they're literally flooded and overwhelmed with what they're experiencing emotionally inside their bodies. So if a child is having a meltdown, you come alongside them and help them name their feelings, like, "Wow, it looks like you're really angry right now," or "Wow, I can hear how hurt you are." And you can say something like, "I have room for your anger," or "There's always room in this house for your sadness," and help them move through the meltdown or the tantrum or whatever's happening and provide comfort in that moment. If there is a behavioral situation going on or some kind of behavior correction is required, do that after the meltdown or the episode, when everybody is calm and your loving connection is strong again. Trying to teach kids a lesson in the middle of them freaking out doesn't work. They don't have access to their thinking brain and they're not able to hear what you're saying. Instead, what they need is just emotional connection. They need help regulating, and you can do any behavioral correction later. Secure attachment means that no matter what happens, you put the relationship first. So the relationship and the bond between you and the child is your number one priority. A good example of this is if you're sick or you're tired one day or you're extra busy or you're not feeling resourced, instead of just putting your kid in front of the movie or the iPad or pushing them aside, taking a moment to say, "You know what? I really want to connect and hang out with you. I have all these other things to do though, and I feel sad that I'm not going to be able to spend this time with you. Is it okay? Can we just have you watch a movie and then I promise we'll have an extra snuggle time after?" Or something like that. It's just slipping in the reassurance that even though you maybe have stuff going on and can't be paying attention to them, that you want to be paying attention to them. Providing a secure attachment is the number one thing. If we know that trauma doesn't occur because an upsetting or terrible situation or event happened. Trauma occurs when we are left alone with our emotions around the event that happened. So the main thing that you can do is provide a secure attachment so that your child knows that no matter what happens at the other parent's house, you're going to be there to help them feel better after. That's all they need to get through this and still be developmentally healthy and safe. Now, I know that that isn't fair. It feels oftentimes like all you're doing is emotional cleanup, and I get that, but what has to matter most is the kids, and this is how you save them from it. And as you practice this and as they get older and everybody gets better at it, it does get easier. The other thing we can offer our children to bolster and protect them against abuse from their narcissistic parent is emotional intelligence. And this is just the ability to know what you're feeling inside and have some tools on how to regulate things when everything is feeling very heated. My favorite tool for emotional intelligence is the name it to tame it idea. And this is just a very simple naming whatever emotion you're noticing in your body. This is a really powerful practice, and if you model this for your kids, they're gonna pick it up and know what to do, and this alone gives them a huge advantage because they're not getting swept away by a storm of emotions. Instead, they're able to name what's happening, and just by naming things, we help our brains gain access to the different parts that can actually create healing instead of just being stuck in a trauma loop of thinking and cortisol and stress hormones. So on a day-to-day basis, this looks like, if you're doing dishes and you start feeling frustrated, say that out loud. Like, whoa, I'm just getting really frustrated. I feel like all I have to do is dishes all the time and I'm feeling anger in my body. Or if you're sitting together watching a movie and a sad thing happens on the movie or a sad scene comes up, you can say, wow, I really am feeling sadness right now. I can feel my heart's getting tight and my chest is kind of constricted. I feel sad. Or if you see something that makes you angry, you can verbalize, wow, I'm feeling really angry. I feel my stomach getting tight, or whatever it is. The more you can do this just for yourself, the more your children are going to learn this tool, and it's so valuable. You can also use this, help your child name their feelings. So if they're having a meltdown or they're talking about a story, they're typically saying the narrative of this happened and then they did that and they did that. So you could ask questions, how did it feel in your body when that happened? Or what are you feeling in your body right now? Or I noticed your voice changed a bit. Are you feeling a little bit sad? You can ask questions and start pointing towards how the emotions are registering in their body. The bottom line is, when we're wanting to protect our children from abuse with their narcissistic parent, the message to them has to be that no matter what happens, no matter what goes on for you, I am here for you, I will be here for you, and I can handle whatever happens. I will help you get through this. And then as they get older, it can shift, progressively into, no matter what happens, I'm here for you and we will get through this together. I know that passing your children off to an abusive person is one of the most painful experiences in this whole process, and maybe even in life. And I know that as a caring parent, you would do anything to save your kids from the pain and neglect and trauma that they may be experiencing at the other parents. But I also know that our court systems and the systems and structures we have in place today aren't going to facilitate that. So this is what we have. All of this is within your power. You can do any of these things at any time, and they actually do work. Trauma only happens when we're left alone with bad experiences. So as long as your children can come home to you and cry or be angry or confused or sad and tell you what's going on, they're going to be okay. I hope this video helps. Please share, please like, please consider clicking subscribe, and check out the links below because I have a lot of videos on the more practical side of what you can do to protect your kids against abuse in navigating the court system, etc. Thanks so much. Take care.